TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Misfit Podcast.
Hello.
We have a little bit of a different change of scenery.
We're switching up a little bit, and we have someone here with us as well.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Yes, it's our first guest appearance in a long time, actually.
A very long time since Gray, I think, in the summer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hello. Welcome, Zach.
Thanks.
To the podcast. You're obviously an occasional listener sometimes.
Yeah.
As you know, and you're also a League of Legends player.
I dabble.
You
I
dabble?
dabble in League of Legends.
Do you have a favorite champion?
My favorite champion? Oh, I mean, recently it's been
Yumi.
Teemo.
Okay, basically the same thing.
Yeah.
AFK.
Yeah, it's been a lot of Teemo recently, but I've been playing some of the new. Maybe I'll play the new champ. I haven't played him yet myself, but he just came out, so
Okay.
we'll see.
Okay.
He just wants the high win rate.
Yeah,
Take
he's gonna
advantage.
be nerfed next week.
He's going to be banned. Permanent banned.
Oh, he is.
But yeah, so today's episode, we'll be covering some league-related topics. We're going to be talking about the World Championship that just happened. We'll dive into that briefly. And if that doesn't interest you guys, then we'll put in the timestamp. We'll be talking about Riftbound, which is Riot Games' new TCG that they released. All three of us have given it a try. I won't say that we're anywhere near great, but we've played a few games where we can at least compare it to other card games. Zach has played Magic. Matt has played every TCG that's ever existed. Not well, but he's played them.
Well, I've dabbled.
He dabbles.
Dabble.
He sticks his toes in and he goes,
This could be cool. This could
throw
be
some money at that for a bit and then on to the next
move
one.
on.
A lot of money.
Okay, I'm still playing Union Arena, okay? Let it go.
Okay. So we'll call Matt a
that
Union
way.
Arena and a One Piece player.
It's true.
And then
Pokemon?
I'll be One Piece
Not
and
Pokemon
Yu-Gi-Oh.
anymore, but Magic.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll be the Magic guy, really, for this.
Yeah, you
episode.
can be Magic. And
yeah.
I'm One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
For whatever Yu-Gi-Oh counts, because Yu-Gi-Oh is just like its own
Separate
mess.
breed.
Oh yeah.
It's its own mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a fun episode. We haven't talked about TCGs in a while, so it's kind of exciting. And yeah, so we'll dive right into League first then. So Zach, are you a big esports watcher for League or just Worlds?
I dabble. I'll catch like a random thing. It's really like when I'm playing League, I feel like watching it when I take a break.
That's hilarious that you say that, because our Nerdy Misfits Gaming, Troy, he streams on every Tuesday. He does. That's how he plays and watches stuff.
Oh yeah.
If he's playing like EA, like FIFA, whatever I can't remember what they call it, EAFC,
FC?
whatever the name change, he'll have like a streamer for FIFA.
Oh yeah.
And then if he's playing, like, I'm sure if he plays League, he might have like a League streamer or like a pro game on.
Exactly how I
like whatever
I do
he's
it,
playing, he has on Diablo. Okay, Diablo streamer.
Yeah. It's whatever I'm in the mood
He's
for.
like double
that's
dipping.
the content. Yeah, that's the content I'm
Okay.
taking. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And I assume you're playing on. Are you playing on a laptop or are you playing on like a desktop?
Yeah, desktop.
Desktop,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, PC gamer. We're trying to get Matt to come over to the dark side. It's yet to happen. He has a PC now. He has no excuse.
Well, I have other excuses, but
Okay, well,
not
he has
the
no
excuse
excuse.
for not playing.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a 2026 goal.
2026 goal. We'll all play
For-
League.
Play League of Legends.
Yeah.
Not a great
Oh
goal.
jeez.
For me to get cooked.
It all goes downhill from here.
Not a great goal. Okay.
I don't really have
All right,
that
yeah,
many
because I was gonna say,
aspirations.
I've been watching competitive League for probably close to like 9 years now.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's definitely a roller coaster where I've been like heavily like watching every LCS stream to like this year where I don't think I've watched because they changed to the LTA or whatever the league name change was, where it was like the combination of I think it was South America and NA.
Yeah.
But I didn't really watch any of that. I did catch a couple of the European finals and obviously Korea and China. Like,
Yeah.
if there was like a big match, I would maybe check it out. Like,
That's like if I saw it pop up, it was a lot more for me like Korean and Chinese
okay,
stuff.
yeah. Like
that
if the
would pop
VOD
up.
pops up, I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe it was
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
game. Check out the VOD. And then I watched MSI. I watched all of MSI. We, me and my friends got together. We have this one friend. He's big on hosting. Has never played. He's played League twice in his life with us because we made him.
And he hosts the watch party.
And he hosts the watch party.
I
He
like
just
that.
likes hosting. We'll all come over and we'll just watch it. We've watched Worlds 4 times now at his place. Some of which we've done the silly thing and stayed up till like 3 a.m. and watched it. The last 2 we've adapted, and we now decide that we just watch the VOD the next day in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll hang out the whole weekend, have a good time, and then Sunday morning we'll just turn on the VOD. No one checks that what the
Turn off your phone.
yeah, and then we just watch. Then we'll just watch the VOD through instead,
Nice.
and it's much more pleasant that way. I gotta say.
Yeah, that'd be a fun experience for sure. I just stayed up by myself.
Yeah, that's a little less exciting. He also got a projector this year to replace his TV. It was like 120-inch projector on like a
Nice.
proper projection screen, and you could make out a lot. You could make out the items that were on cooldown. Like you didn't have to like kind of like squint your eyes. So that was pretty cool, and you could see the whole mini map.
You were on the Rift.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Bound.
But yeah, going in to Worlds, obviously, if you guys don't know, T1, or formerly known as SK Telecom T1, won Worlds. This was the 3rd time in a row they've won Worlds, 4th time in a row they made it to the finals. Now, obviously, this is like the most iconic League of Legends team. I don't think that that's controversial to say. But I did my pick'ems, as a League player does, you know, if you dabble. And I did not have T1 making it very far this year because I was checking in and out on like the top teams, you know, MSI. And T1 was not doing good all year
No,
at all.
that world's buff.
Yeah, the world's buff went hard. Last year, there was a patch that came out and everyone's like, oh, that's like a good patch for the play style of T1.
Yeah.
This year, there was no like T1 level patch. So I was like, I don't know. Don't feel it. And now that was my mistake.
Yeah,
I doubted Faker. I doubted his ability.
Well, I mean, if you start even looking at it from game 1, they started really slow.
Yeah, they had to
And
beat
I was like,
IG
whoa.
in the play-ins, and I was
Yeah.
like, do they even get past IG?
Yeah.
And then they did, and I was like, okay. And then yeah, like you said, every Eastern team they faced, they lost. The only way they got through to the actual knockouts was by beating, I think, a North American team and 2 European teams.
Mm-hmm.
So even going to the knockouts, you're kind of like not confidence inspired by that play. I also was like really big on Gen G. I mean, they had a really
I was big on Gen G as well.
they had a really good year. They won MSI, which kind of, you know, everyone talks about how Chovy is Chokvi. But like, I feel like after you've won enough LCK titles and you're like the most dominant team in Korea and then you win MSI, I feel like you're not really Chokvi anymore. It's more just like you just didn't reach that. You didn't get up the final hump, you know?
Yeah.
Uzi won less things that technically than Chovy at this point, and everyone considers Uzi one of the greatest to ever play. So I think there's some unnecessary Chovy hate, and obviously that team is stacked beyond belief. All the roles, so. But yeah, T1 ends up winning. That regardless of Doran trying to throw some of the games for T1. I will say, how did you enjoy the new draft style with the Fearless draft?
I loved it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I think it made, even for like a casual League watcher, like someone at least who, so Matt, for reference for you, like when you watch League and you don't know what's going on, I can't imagine it's a good experience to watch, because it is just, as someone who plays League and understands what every champion is doing, sometimes in team fights, I'm like, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of colors.
It's just got to be like the.
Have you watched a League game before? Or
No, I
seen
haven't.
anyone play it?
I've seen a couple people play it, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be a horrible watching experience for someone who doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But the way it breaks down at the start of the game, they have to draft, so they get to ban some champions, so the other team can't play it, and then you pick champions in a specific order, going back and forth until you have the 5v5.
Yeah.
And in previous years, there's just a solid meta where you're just playing the same champion on the same, because there's 2 sides, red and blue, would just be banned. And if you switch sides, then it was your turn to ban those champions, and then the other team would ban the same champions that the other side banned, and it made it very repetitive because you would get the same games, and sometimes actually it would just be a run back of the exact same comp and just play it. Hopefully the team plays it better, which is, there's pros and cons. The pros are, if a specific team is really good at a style of play, you get to see them play that style of play. Now, sometimes that style of play could be boring, but at least you get to see them show like, hey, this is why we're good because we're playing this. But with Fearless, after you've played champs, that champ can no longer be played. So we get to see a lot more of variety because as you go in the best of fives, which thankfully we managed to go all the way to game 5 in this World's Finals, then there's a lot less champions to pick from, and you're kind of like, oh, what are they going to do? Are they still going to ban the same? Maybe they let some things through, which we did see some things did get through, like Faker's Galio, which was permanently banned.
It was crazy, yeah.
I will say the last draft was a bit questionable. The York pick, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, the York pick was the controversial pick for sure.
And giving up Galio, I think, is also like,
yeah.
You banned it the whole series. I feel like you just let Faker play something random and see what happens instead of giving him a champion you didn't want him to play game 1. If you were okay with him getting Galio in game 5, why not just let him have Galio in game 1 and then just be like, we're not going to see Galio anymore.
Yeah.
So regardless,
with the fearless draft, you definitely get to see some picks that are different. Like, I feel like the Mundo pick, not in the finals, but that was interesting with owner playing.
Yeah, and that was the first time he played Mundo, where he
he had to read the tooltips.
Well, yeah, and he's asking
game.
his teammates. He's like, okay, what do I like? How hard is and they're like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Mundo's easy.
That was game 5 semifinals.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, imagine that game 5 semifinals, and he first time's a champ. So, because it was the perfect pick, and Faker told him to do it. So
and what Faker says, you do.
You just do it, right?
Yeah, I make a joke that Faker, his mechanics obviously still better than all of us and a lot of people, but comparatively to like someone like Chovy, maybe it's not quite there.
Yeah.
I make a joke that he's just playing StarCraft now. Like he hops in the game and he's like shot calling / telling his teammates what they need to do, and then he just makes sure that he farms successfully and doesn't totally give up a massive lead, which for the most part he did a pretty good job. Like, people are talking about how he's washed, but most of the time when he gives up a lead or is getting LCS, it's matchup related, or it's because he's roaming and he's doing something else, which he's getting something for that cost. He's very impressive. I think he's gone from that carry. You think of other like real sports. You think of like players that maybe don't have speed anymore, and how did they adjust to the NHL or whatever they're playing in their new role. And I think Faker's kind of shown that you can get older and you just have to adjust how you play. Maybe you're no longer a micro, phenom 1v1 king, but you can still make a massive impact. I mean, 3 worlds in a row.
He's been here before, when it shows.
MVP was Gamayushi, the 80 carry. I feel like it probably could have also gone to Karya.
I agree.
Karya had a really good series.
Yeah.
Still showed why he's probably the best support in the world.
Easily.
Gamayushi, I think it was more of a feel good, especially since he got benched a couple times this year, and he came through. I thought he was just what an 80 carry needed to be in the World Championship. He was just very consistent. He was putting out damage. He didn't really stand out for me, but it was nice to see.
Yeah, but that's also the style they play too.
Absolutely.
Karya just going off and doing whatever he wants, and you just survive down there.
Yeah, absolutely. He was just the rock they needed. It was also nice because now I did see like he's left T1 after this. And so it was a really nice send-off that he managed to have that big bounce back this World. And now there's only 3 remaining of the massive T1 roster. So we'll see if they can pull it off again. I don't know. I don't want to say no, but
they've people said last
proven
year,
me wrong. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's been basically Worlds. Do you have anything else that stood out for you? Oh, the World song. What did you think of it?
It grew on me.
It was definitely a grower.
Yeah,
it still wasn't my favorite.
No, who did the World song this year?
Oh, I can't even remember. I don't have it up.
Because obviously, I know the songs from like past, obviously, but
yeah,
The thing is, the past few World songs have been very good, like hype songs.
Yeah, I felt this one like built up and then didn't really do anything with
Sacrifice
it.
Sacrifice.
Song.
Yeah.
Oh, by singer-songwriter Gem.
Gem?
Yeah, GEM. Sacrifice featuring Gem.
It was definitely a grower, but it still didn't hit. I mean, obviously last year was also Linkin Park, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And that one hit hard. people that don't even know anything about League listen to that song, and then it's like you can like give them that fun fact where you're like, you know that this song was made for League of Legends.
Yeah.
And people are just like, what? And you're like,
Yeah. Linkin Park,
There's some, yeah. Well, like, I mean, like you look at past years too, like even like
Well, there's Imagine Dragons.
Warriors, yeah, by Imagine Dragons, obviously Linkin Park.
There's been some like fantastic songs. That's why it's always just going to be hard to.
Well, and they're all Linkin Park isn't League players, but Imagine Dragons, they were the first big artist that ended up doing a world song.
Yeah, it was 10 years
and
ago.
the reason they do it is because they played the League. Like they talked about in some interviews how they play ARAM like before going on stage, and sometimes they were late to get on stage because they were finishing a game.
Yeah, and that's one of the best world songs too.
It's just a very good hype song, and then they also did the Arcane opening.
Yeah,
so they're just they're part of League lore now. But I definitely the song was okay. It was a grower, but I remember because Matt's someone that I send League songs to, even though he doesn't play League. My
and most of them are
girlfriend,
bangers.
my friend who hosts, I send them all the songs, and then they're like, this one is good. But at least the live performance was solid.
Yeah. Wait. So what did you think of it? Not playing League.
It's all right. I don't know. I think it's for me. I like the older, like the Linkin Park one is one of my favorite ones. So
Legends Never Die.
Legends Never Die from 2017 is great.
Which Chrissy Costanza, who sings that, was actually part of the opening ceremony. She sung it again. She sung a medley of a lot of the world songs.
See, that's sick.
Yeah.
Trying to think what other ones we got. Even like Little Nas, like Star Walkin' was pretty good. I remember seeing
Star
that on the
Walkin' was okay.
radio. Like that was.
It was on the radio.
It got pretty
Yeah.
popular. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Legends Never Die, Warriors. I don't remember Gods from 2023.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
solid.
remember that one was a solid song.
I think Rise is one of my favorite in combination with the video. It was one of the better videos because I was following Ambition's climbing up the mountain and
Yeah,
showed all
right.
of like
I think
showed a member of each team that he beat.
Mm-hmm.
But the opening ceremony was they butchered it hard.
Well, I thought the video for Sacrifice wasn't my favorite.
You didn't like it? It was.
I didn't. I felt like it was. They didn't actually hear the song. They just made a video and put it together.
Yeah, I think the video was probably already made.
Yeah.
For the most part, and then they were like, okay, what song is gonna go to it? Where sometimes I think maybe they have a better idea of what the song is gonna be.
But I think the opening for Worlds was good, and it kind of made up for it in the end, anyways. So
yeah, the medley was really nice.
Yeah.
Jumping into the actual world song was good, and it was nice that the world song wasn't butchered. I will never forget the Rise performance where Rise was like so solid of a song, and then the live performance was so bad.
Dang.
And that was also where they had KDA, I think, was the same year as Rise. And the 3D animated version of KDA didn't look the best. Like, it was a cool idea and concept, but it didn't, I feel like it fell a little short. The following year where they did the True Damage one, where it was like the screen was like the cube around the stage, I thought that one turned out way better. But unfortunately, I didn't like the True Damage song as much as I liked the KDA song. But it is what it is. It's still crazy that's an opening ceremony for people playing video games.
Oh yeah. It definitely. I mean, this year with like that Atacon on the background and getting all chained up.
Oh, that was really cool. Yeah.
Like that was cool. Really, it hyped up the final with them coming out of the ground as well.
They came out of the ground a lot.
Yeah.
They came out at like the start, then they were
They
gone,
loved it.
and then
They just
came
kept
back.
doing it. But yeah,
Very hype.
that was hype.
But yeah, that was the League World Championship, and we'll be back and we'll talk about some Riftbound. All right, and we're back. Going to talk about some Riftbound, Riot Games' new TCG. So Matt and I stopped by one of our local card stores. Was it the Friday or the Saturday of the release?
I think it was the Saturday of it. Yeah, because it was also a big like Magic release day and a Pokemon release day, I think. So we weren't super
we don't want to be
hyped
messed
to
with that.
go.
But surprisingly, there was still a good amount of Riftbound stuff, especially since we talked to them the week before. And they're like, oh, if you don't come to like the because they were doing like a event.
Pre-release event, yeah.
And they're like, oh, if you're not there, you might not get anything. And we went. There was still a lot of stuff.
But then they were sold out.
But then we went with Zach, and there was nothing.
Yeah. It was not even a week later, too. Like, it was a good
Yeah,
one.
because like when we went there, we were debating on picking up a box of packs. We also did pick up this bad boy, which is a 4-deck starter, I guess you can say like a beginner
starter
box.
Set. Yeah,
Yeah,
starter
it
box.
comes kind of with everything you need to play both a 1v1 game mode, but also if you wanted to play the 4-person
Multiplayer.
game, you can. But yeah, we went with this because value wise, I think the structure decks for us were like $40 Canadian.
Yeah, structure decks were 40, but this one here for 4 decks
It's
was
100.
100.
So
So
we
it
were
just
like,
didn't
okay.
make sense.
Yeah.
To,
And then we're on the fence about picking up a box of the set. We didn't end up doing, but they had a ton.
yeah, I think we just grabbed a single pack each, I believe.
And they had the playmats, which I do regret. I kind of wish I would have got the RE playmat. Didn't realize how everything would just fly because I assumed that everyone who wanted Riftbound stuff by Saturday, just based on how TCGs are just flying off the
Usually,
shelf,
yeah.
that it just would be gone. And then we went a week later with Zach and nothing, and no One Piece either, which was also
One
the
Piece
other
was
reason
already
we
sold
went.
out. We called what 5 other?
Yeah, we called five
Five
stores, and
other
we
cards.
found
Drive
one
around
store
in the
that had
rain.
them.
Yeah, in the terrible rainstorm, just trying to find these One Piece cards. Clown car full of people.
Yeah.
Grand old time.
But we did get it, and I did pull a pretty sick card, so it was worth it, in my opinion. Some bias. But yeah, after that, we did end up giving it a try. We actually, with this episode in mind, we played both Riftbound, we played Magic, we played some Yu-Gi-Oh, some One Piece, just to kind of compare how the card game plays overall. Like we said, Zach's played Magic before, but it was a good experiment to also teach him One Piece.
I hadn't played those, so it was kind of cool to see.
And
them.
then you can see kind of like what's easier to learn, what mechanics are similar. Obviously, Magic, I think safe to say for the most part, most card games are stealing some aspect from Magic, other than like Yu-Gi-Oh, who just they're really doing their own thing.
They make their own rules bi-weekly.
Yeah, it really does feel like that sometimes. But yeah, what was your first impressions of, I guess, the Riftbound decks, like the art style in the cards, and then the actual gameplay?
I mean, I thought it was cool, especially someone like I like League of Legends. I thought they were pretty good. The art was nice. I like I like the I already know the champions and stuff, so being able to go. I had the Lee Sin deck. I did want the Victor one, but it wasn't there. So I got the Lee Sin one, and it was all about like buffing, and getting to try that out was cool. Though I played against the Master Yi. You were using Master Yi,
Yeah,
right?
it was Master Yi, yeah.
That deck was really good.
Now,
comparison.
when the deck that you were playing, like obviously I don't play League, so like is the buffing make sense for that League champion?
I think
Like,
so.
is
I
it-
mean, he shields himself. He heals. He's got different abilities.
Yeah, he shields, he heals. I guess that can go hand in
Like-
hand. You could also theoretically build Moonstone, and
Yeah, I guess.
Harry
Yeah,
and-
sure.
I mean, I've seen it in Earth.
It's like,
Shielding
Connor,
Lee Sin is a thing.
when we played the first couple times, like did you find that the decks that are from the box here, like are they
Yeah,
particular to the character more or less?
think so.
Like,
Yeah,
the
no,
abilities?
absolutely. Because we had the Lux deck, which was focused around spell casting, and we had the Annie deck, which is also focused around like getting your spells, like dropping Tibbers on a battlefield. So I would say that that's pretty accurate too. Like that's
Yeah.
what Annie does. Annie drops her Tibbers on as many people as she possibly can.
Flash R.
Yeah, so that felt pretty accurate. The Master Yi is the only one that felt maybe not as Master Yi like, other than the fact that once you get to full runes, I think the deck plays a lot better, which is very like kind of Master Yi's a scaling champion. You want to get to more items later in the
Yeah,
game.
and he's got ganking. He moves around a little bit.
And the one was like they lived up to kind of like the meditate. It felt like they were really leaning on like meditate for him, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he can
Wuju
guard
style.
this and being by himself, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, because he buffs characters that are fighting on their own,
Yeah,
which is, if you know anything about Master Yi, basically becomes just a 1v9 champ if it gets late enough in the game where he's just winning the game by himself. What's the other deck, Garen? I can't remember what that deck.
That
did.
was all the tokens.
No, that's not very Garen-y.
Like
Tokens.
celebrating, like summoning.
he doesn't summon anything.
Yeah, Garen just spins to win.
He just spins and then ult kills
Yeah.
you.
So maybe lore wise, like he's a prince, I believe, of Demacia.
Yeah.
So maybe he'd have like more military might. Maybe it's leaning more towards like lore stuff.
Oh, okay.
That might be where they're going with Yi as well.
Yeah, it's possible. There is also other lore or Riot universe things in it. Like there were similar cards to literally Runeterra cards. There were some stuff from Arcane. I've seen some cards like related to that. And then obviously League. So it kind of is just taking like a little bit of pieces from any Riot content, really, for the most part.
And I mean, they've got a lot of champions and a lot of content.
There's a lot of lore, even though the lore is messy.
It changes.
It's always change. It's like the staircase in Harry Potter. That's League lore, baby. But I'd say I was kind of disappointed in some of the art. Just that I thought it was maybe a little bit more basic than I was expecting, especially when you see all the new Magic stuff coming out. You see all like how hype all the alt arts and full arts are for Pokemon. That's kind of like where One Piece is also like having some really unique art styles.
They played it safe.
Yeah, they definitely played it safe. To be fair, I think a lot of the cards, a lot of the champion cards at least, they're just using like the splash arts. And some of the splash arts are really good.
Yeah.
And especially for the skins. It just felt like there were only a few really stand out from the first set that I was like, oh, that's a really nice card. There was nothing where I was like, that's amazing. I really need that card.
Yeah. As a collector, nothing really jumped out at you.
But I mean, at least if you've played League, like you're gonna recognize things. I guess maybe that's.
I think that's where it came from me. Yeah,
they're just kind of like, hey, you're gonna know this because you know this splash art. You're used to seeing it in Champ Select or getting into a game. Now onto the gameplay. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I like the battlefields. I thought that was unique. I mean, I feel like, it could add some variety in the gameplay. If you're playing again, you could pick a different battlefield, that sort of thing, something that goes with your strategy. It was a little confusing to learn.
Yep.
I think we all had that. That rule book was not my favorite.
Yeah, I think that was a bit disappointing is the rule book that comes with the structure deck comes with like the big 4 deck box.
Well, it came with my pre-built deck as well.
Yeah, but the deck...
And it was different.
You actually had more rules in yours for this individual deck than the actual pre-made 4-pack.
It did feel like you needed to have the PDF open.
Oh, yeah,
of like the actual...
Well, we did actually.
And we still had to...
Google and hope for the
best. Yeah, we had to Control F and find...
we said it was like 72 pages. Like, it was a
lot on it.
Hefty boy.
It was a hefty boy, absolutely. Yeah. I'd say a pro is I appreciate that they didn't just copy paste like a card game that already existed. They tried to do something different.
I really like how they didn't do like a health system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially because I guess they want you to play 4-player, and at least from my background with Magic, playing with more than 2 people, if you are the one who's targeted and you die first, that sucks. It's like now you just watch your friends play. And that doesn't really happen with Riftbound. Not that we actually, I didn't test it with you guys, but I just...
Based on the rules, it sounds like it can't. Like, you can still definitely target someone, but the way the points work is like, it's all going to be relying more on yourself. Plus, there's like 2v2, and there's a lot of rules around how you're conquering battlefields and whatnot as a team. So...
And I mean, it's really... you pretty much need a playmat, I guess, if with the different totals and stuff like that you're gonna get.
It definitely helps. We were playing with a die. I'm assuming at some point they're probably gonna have a special 8-point die and other cool memorabilia that you can get for the game.
You mentioned like a Poro or something.
Yeah, at Worlds they had a event going on for I assume Riftbound must have come out a little earlier for China. And they had kind of like a Riftbound. I don't know if it was like the World Championship because it hasn't been out, but maybe we'll call it the first big tournament for it. And yeah, they had like a really cool, really nice mat set up, and the points were they used like a nice, cool little Poro figure to move across, which was, I mean, just another way that you can make money, but also it's kind of cool. People will like that if you can do it with your main. Right? Like if you can get a champion that you like to play and you're like, hey, I'm getting this little champion to put across.
I've got a 3D printer. I can imagine 3D printing a little poppy or something and moving it across.
Or dice. I did like, you do, similar to Magic, you do probably need some sort of counters. I assume most people have dice if they play Magic, so it's probably what will end up being used. I just know at the World Championship they had negative dice as well as positive dice.
Yeah, it did get a little confusing when I took damage, but I also buffed something. So then I'm like,
to help keep track of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I would say I liked the differences from other card games, but at the same time, it also was a bit of a negative in terms of it almost felt like they were trying too hard to be different in certain aspects, which made it harder to understand what was going on. Now, we didn't play a ton. This obviously, once you start playing a lot more games and the rules just come to you easily, maybe the game's very smooth. Mm-hmm. But also, we're coming from different card games. I think it's that you mentioned when we were playing, like you are thinking of Magic and relating it to Magic, and then I'm thinking of One Piece and relating it to that, and that's kind of what also makes it feel stranger. Where you're like, why would they do that? Mm-hmm. There's already a perfect way to do it. They're doing it in this game. What did you think, Matt? What were your first impressions of the game?
I think I wanted to like it more. Just like I enjoy the concept of Battlefield. I think that's obviously a new and fun addition to TCGs. But I think, yeah, just the actual calculation of battles don't make full sense. Like it like the more we play it, obviously it's gonna make more sense of like obviously you take damage, but then I take damage, but then it just got confusing.
The fight happens at the same time.
Yeah. So for me, that's probably more of a negative because it just felt so much more complicated than it needed to be at the time, I guess. Obviously, it's cliche for a lot of TCGs in the sense that like when you play something, it has to automatically be like rested or used kind of thing like that. Like you can't just summon something and it ready to go. I think it's really only like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh that do it. Whatever is like active can be like attacking.
Yeah, it can
kind of thing unless specified otherwise. Overall, the artwork was fine for me. Obviously, I don't understand as much as the Easter eggs or anything like that. Like, obviously, I've seen Arcane, but outside of that, I don't know anything about League of Legends, basically. Now, obviously, the card game. Yet.
That is nice, though. You don't need to know anything about League to play the card game. It's not... There is no need to have any knowledge about it.
Yeah.
The only thing that's nice is if you have played League, one, maybe you understand what the playstyle might be for that deck, and two is it's just fun to notice things. I think like seeing that they're using League terms to represent certain abilities or aspects, like Master Yi, the one Master Yi has ganking.
Yeah, I didn't need to even read that.
Which means he gets to go to a battlefield to battlefield, which is in a normal movement, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like they could have called it something else, but they called it something that is a League term.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was curious too. That's why I was asking about like how the decks play towards the character, because I know like in One Piece, for example, a lot of like the leaders, their play style is based around if they have like a devil fruit, for example.
Some of them are better than others. I think for One Piece, I think One Piece has evolved a lot more into just colors, similar to Magic, where it's like this color, its goal is going to be like, I think to yellow decks are always reliant on triggers.
Yeah.
Like that's their thing. Red decks are a lot more aggressive. And that's just kind of like how, and I think black decks often revolve around like the graveyard.
Yeah. Purple is usually just like more of like a summoning in a way I found with a couple purple.
But it does feel like they're going more similar to Magic, where like, hey, this color is more focused usually on this play style.
Yeah, you kind of know what you're getting.
We're getting to the point where we have like that color of Luffy in every like a color of Luffy all around, right? Like we have a purple Luffy, multicolor green red Luffy. Like there's so many different Luffys at this point. But
I think when
covers
One Piece
every
started, it was a little bit different.
Yeah,
like it was more character specific.
Yeah, like I think when the Big Mom deck first came out, she's very feels very accurate to how she is in the anime and her powers work, and it was very cool thematically. But I feel like One Piece is strayed a bit further from fitting as much,
which makes sense. I mean, they've added so many characters. Like we're in Canada, we're on series 13 now, right? So on starter deck 27 or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's been going for obviously like I want to say like
3
years now ish. Yeah, because when we first got into it, like we grabbed it right off the hop, and there was 4 starter decks. I know,
and we should have just sat on everything.
We should have,
because I think the box OP01, the first box is like $1,500 American or something.
Wow.
If you have a sealed box. We could have just sat on it like collectors and just not opened it, but we like to open stuff.
But we have an addiction.
We have a problem. We gotta open it. Can't just leave it. Could have been more value. But what are any other pros you have, Matt, for Riftbound?
I mean, the artwork is fine. I think the Battlefield's a cool concept. I would love to see it improve in updated rules and newer sets, because obviously with this being set 1, I find this a lot in TCGs, is that first set they kind of just throw it out there and hope for the best. And
Yeah,
then
there's no
series 2 and
there's
series
no power
3,
scaling yet.
Yeah,
Because card games are always going to introduce more and more broken cards or kind of figure out how meta shifts and then kind of make decisions based on the way people are playing the card
yeah.
game.
Because it was, if you're comparing it to One Piece, for example, I don't think it was until set 3 that we got dual colored leaders.
There may have been
It might have been
earlier,
like one
but they
or
weren't
two,
really
but it wasn't
meta.
like crazy.
Yeah.
Where a lot of it was like monotyping basically,
Mhm.
and then they're like, oh, we can add this and we can adjust this and stuff like that. And same with Lorcana too. They waited a good couple sets before multicolor cards.
Yeah, and we've shifted to a point now in One Piece where we have a leader that is affecting the game before the game starts, like a leader that can introduce a stage card before the game even plays.
Begins, yeah.
So they definitely are experimenting and doing new things in that, and I'm sure the same thing will happen with Riftbound as long as it's successful. That's the big thing: is will Riot continue releasing? How many sets will it get, and will stores like will people play it in their card shops? That's the biggest thing. If people aren't playing it at their shops, then it'll probably slowly die like other card games. But
And that's happening right now, even for like, because obviously I collect and play Union Arena sometimes, and like my buddy was getting Union Arena cards in St. Catharines, and he said it was like overnight. Like this new Gundam TCG came out,
Yeah.
and Union Arena was just canceled. Like everyone just switched from Union Arena to Gundam because that was the newest TCG.
Oh.
So that store doesn't.
and it's an
even-
anime one,
Yeah.
so like a lot of people playing Union
Yeah.
Arena that are there
lot of
for
crossover.
anime.
Yeah.
Are like, oh, okay, we'll just all play Gundam. Maybe
Yeah.
Union
Yeah.
Arena will come back.
You never
It's
know.
just when the Gundam.
But that specific store stopped. But then like when we were at the card game store the other day,
Oh yeah.
then I was opening Union Arena packs, and there was like half a dozen people next to us, and they're like, "Oh, like what are you opening?" Like they were so funny because we were sitting there. We had You were opening Riftbound.
Yep.
I was opening Union Arena, and then the two other people we were with, he was opening Union Arena, and then she was opening Pokemon. So there was just like, and they were so confused what was going
Yeah.
on for a second.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what are you guys
Yeah,
doing?
what are you guys playing? What are you guys doing? But
And then they were like, oh, please play Union Arena.
yeah, they're like, please, there's only 6 of us. And then I pulled the one card that he really wanted, and then I pulled a separate card that he was like, what? And then he's like, can I see that for a second? I was like, sure. This man literally pulls out a sleeve for me and just sleeves it right in there.
He was
Yeah.
ready.
I was like, he gets it.
He was
He
ready.
understands.
He was ready.
Um,
Yeah. I'd like to see if Riftbound, like, because I think if people play League of Legends and they like card games, I think it's a good fit.
Yep.
Obviously. But will people who don't play League of Legends also want to play Riftbound? Like,
I
I feel
think
like that's what's going to keep it going.
I think for me, I think that there's a more likelihood that you're to get someone to play Riftbound than you are to ever get someone to play League.
Yeah, unless that whole like WASD and
Well,
everything
not
that works,
yeah,
but,
but it's not
that's
even
another
just
topic.
it's like League. In order to play League
Yeah.
decently well, you need to kind of have an idea of how the game is supposed to be played generally, farm and the goal objective and not just run it down. Then you need to know what every champion does.
It's only like 150.
50. Let's say 100.
60.
Let's just say 150.
Yeah.
There's 150 champions that you need to know what their passive is and their 4 abilities
And how it interacts with everyone else's abilities.
and how it interacts with everyone else. And then after that, you go into items, which I don't even know how many items
and they
there are.
change every couple
All
weeks.
and yeah, that's not to even mention the patches that change things. So it is a lot of information, and it's very difficult for just someone to come in and be like, "Yep, this is how it's done. You need to do this." Because it sounds ridiculous to say you need because you don't need to do that. It's just in order to make the game even feel remotely playable. If you don't know what most champions are doing, or at least let's say meta relevant champions are doing, then the game's going to be unfun because you don't know what abilities to look out for, how to dodge them, and the game becomes very unfun very fast. You're probably getting flamed anyways, regardless of if you're playing good or bad. That's another bad thing. Whereas card game, you can play a card game with just your friends.
Yeah.
Ain't no one going to flame you when you're playing a card game. You're just having a good time.
if you're me, it's a different story because I'm just
Yeah, well,
traditionally bad at TV.
Yeah.
if you make really bad
But-
mistakes often and you never learn, then maybe you might get flamed.
Yeah. But I would be excited as someone who actually does like League of Legends, to like make a Teemo deck. Like that sounds
Yeah.
so annoying.
Well,
Like,
and
that
maybe you
sounds
get
great.
some friends to play. Like maybe you have a Teemo deck and you have, like you said, you had the Lee Sin deck, and maybe you're just like, hey, I know you're not interested in League, but maybe you want to try playing the and it's a way to like maybe get some of your friend group to dip their toes into the league
The lore.
the lore of League of Legends and the world of it without having one to own a computer if they don't own a computer, and 2 to actually play League. Because that's what
For
everyone
sure.
jokes about with Arcane, right? They're like, oh, Arcane is so good and you don't have to play League.
Yeah. Or some people do end up playing League.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a whole
This
other
isn't
issue.
like the show.
Yeah. I am not happy.
Why is he telling me to kill myself?
Another thing I'm really impressed with was that they came out with the 2v2 / 4-person game mode right off the rip. Like, rules
Yeah.
in mind. We have, I think some people have made up some like weird Yu-Gi-Oh version of Commander format. But Commander format is an extremely popular way to play Magic. So it makes sense that like when you're making a card game, you should keep in mind like, hey, can we make a 4-person version of this game?
Yeah.
And they came out with it right off the rip.
Mhm.
I think that is a really smart idea because it opens up the world for that style tournament if they want to run that, or just more casual play for people that aren't as competitive.
Yeah. I think especially because it does have some similarities to Commander with your champion,
Yep.
your chosen champion and everything. It kind of lends itself already to that format. There's some crossover there for people who want to try it. People did play Commander and now are like, oh, I also play League. Why not?
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah.
For me, I had just some of the notes I have down. I did have that the card stock was pretty decent. Wasn't like too thin. It was pretty nice thickness. I think One Piece might be one of the thicker cards,
Yeah.
but like the cards were good quality. We didn't pull anything good for our cards, unfortunately.
No, I pulled that okay.
Well, you pulled the Kaisa, which you need for the Kaisa deck, which is apparently meta, but it wasn't like one of
Oh.
like the crazy.
Wasn't it like a 10 out of 10? Like,
Well, it wasn't like one of there's like 3 alt arts I think of her or something like that.
yeah.
And it wasn't one of like the crazy ones. But it looked okay. For negatives, I had down we talked about it a bit, but the overcomplexity, like that could be just because we're new to the game. But there is a lot to keep track of, similar to Magic, where there's a lot of domino effects of things where like one card does this, which affects this, and you're like kind of like starting to put down tokens or counters on everyone. So it does feel like there's a lot going on, which makes, I think in my opinion, makes the game a little bit harder to learn. We did talk about it when we were playing, but we did rank some of the card games.
Yep.
Do we feel confident in the order of having Pokemon as the easiest to learn?
Yeah, I think Pokemon's probably, of the TCGs we've played, I think Pokemon's pretty straightforward. If you've ever played a Pokemon game, that just even makes it even like more easy for it.
Yeah, we didn't play the other night. Like we talked about it a little bit, but they introduced me to a lot of games. And we didn't play Pokemon, but me and Matt have played Pokemon.
Yeah, we've played Pokemon, and we use
And
like
it
the
was-
starter kit, and it's pretty
It was like
straightforward.
by the time
like,
the first match was over, I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
yeah, it's
I can do this. And we kept swapping, and it was easy
yeah,
with every deck.
because all the rules are there. There's no extra information you need to know outside of Pokemon. Outside of maybe like, oh, how much damage does poison or burn do, and that's the same.
Yeah, and
stats
paying
for
attention
both.
to maybe like the
Yep.
super effective
Yeah,
stuff.
but that's all on the card. Like, there's
That's
no
true.
extra rule book. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to go searching for any answers. Where Pokemon is like, everything you need to know about your card, if
It's on
it's
the card.
effective, if
Yeah.
it takes like a weakness, if there's a reduction for it, how much the ability costs,
Yeah.
what you have to pay to do it. Like, it's all right there, which is nice.
The other thing about Pokemon is, from a collection standpoint, impossible to get
Yeah.
your hands on because everyone
can't
and their mom is buying
Yeah.
it. But Gray, I don't know. I don't think he's actively playing Pokemon at the moment, but he has gone to his local card store and played Pokemon a few times, and he was talking about how he picked up a competitive, viable deck for like $100.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the cards that are good in the meta, not hard to find.
No, gosh, no.
That's kind of
'Cause
nice.
thing about Pokemon is that your fancy full art
Is not needed.
It's not needed because it's not like other games where like the fanciest full art is gonna have different abilities. Like Pokemon is just like, oh, this full art
It's just an alternate
Umbreon
art. Yeah.
has the exact same stats as the uncommon Umbreon.
Yeah, it's the same for One
But,
Piece.
yeah, exactly.
But like something like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, where cards only come in that rarity for that set. For
Mhm.
example,
Magic's the same way, I believe.
where like a secret
Yeah.
rare in Yu-Gi-Oh
was.
Yeah.
is usually, well, at least in North America, is often made to be the chase card, but a competitive chase card. And then that card can sometimes go upwards of $150 per card, and you need 3 of them in the deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember Magic cards getting too expensive, but it's been a while. Like
Well,
At least the competitive ones.
Yeah, I've also seen like you can hop on like eBay and you can pick up like a pretty solid like commander deck for like $100 to $200, and it's just the whole complete deck.
Yeah,
and it's a very solid commander deck, and you don't even have to like look around in terms of order buying singles.
yeah.
Like,
But in terms of singles, like a lot of them, like
Yeah,
when I was building decks, they were
you can
not
definitely
expensive.
build. Yeah,
Most of them, anyways.
it does feel that way. And then I put down One Piece as second for like ease of learning. And I also think One Piece has a lot of similarities to Riftbound, the way they both kind of handle the mana / rune system, because One Piece has its own separate deck where you're guaranteed to get 2, or unless it's the first turn 1, Dawn cards, which are like their mana system, up to 10. And you don't have to hunt it via the way you do in energies or for lands like Magic. It's just, this is your mana system. This is how you're going to summon and play spells, for lack of...
I really like the Dawn system. Like, I don't watch One Piece or know anything about it, but the Dawn system is really nice.
Yeah, and then the only additive is that it has a plus 1,000 that can be used when you're on the offensive, and it's just very easy to learn. In my opinion, it's just very, like the only thing, like you said, it's like you don't know One Piece, and then you kind of lose a lot of the fun from that point where you're like, I don't understand.
I think
the excitement maybe.
I think
the cards.
so. Yeah, and there's a lot going on in the cards,
Yeah.
like the art and everything. And I was like, I don't know what I'm even looking at.
Yeah. The other thing for One Piece is they have like a combination. It's like you have cards where the art is straight from the manga or straight from the anime or original art drawn for just the card game.
Even the movie too. Like they have
movie art.
ones.
We have a big one recently was in the new set. Gege, the artist for a different manga, did drawings for the One Piece card game, and they were the alt arts, and they were really cool, and they were a big chase in the new set. But they do a lot of cool stuff in the One Piece. But overall, for the gameplay style, I think it's very just simple. It's very similar to Magic. Like you're like, okay, you're tapping things, similar to tapping a land to play things. You're tapping your Dawn. Cards, when they're played, they're exhausted. They can't fight right away unless specified otherwise. And there's no other weird mechanics. It's just, I think the leader is just a different style of handling the life mechanic. But that's pretty easy to follow as well. I think the only thing for One Piece is when we first played, Matt, the cards didn't have what certain things did. Like if it had rush, it just had rush, and you'd have to go into the rule book or look it up.
It didn't have like Magic
but now
has,
it has it on all the cards. Like this is what this means. And the counters maybe are a little bit unique, having so many cards that can be played from your hand as a counter.
Yeah, and the trigger, I guess, makes the One Piece unique. Where like if you pull it from your life, it has an ability. That's kind of unique.
Definitely
that was kind of
One
a cool
Piece
system.
It's definitely unique, but it's not like once you explain what a trigger is to someone, like it just flows.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah,
and I think that's one issue we had with Riftbound was the flow felt like it was interrupted a lot with trying to like, oh, how does this work? How does this work? And it feels like One Piece has a bit of a better flow, which leads into our number 3 pick for ease, which is Magic.
Pause for a second. Sorry, we got like 15 seconds. And if it doesn't cut off in 15 seconds, then we'll just keep going.
Okay.
But this is the ultimate test if it's going to cut out at the 30-minute mark or not.
Is it like lagging a little bit?
3. There's a slight lag, yeah,
There's
but
a delay
when I
for us,
exported. Okay, it's still going. And we've hit the 30-minute mark of recording. So.
Well, maybe the camera will just wait until it overheats.
All right. So you were saying, go back to Magic.
All right.
Third
So
pick.
Magic.
Yeah.
Is what we have as number 3 for learnability or ease of learning. Not much to say. It's one of the, if not the OG card game.
Yep.
And everything else kind of, for the most part, comes from it. Takes something from it. Whether it's, hey, we're going to take your land system like Pokemon, kind of took the land system and turned it into energies for the most part.
In a way, yeah.
Well, they took it and they're like, okay, we're going
Just
to
has
use that
to
as our way of
automatically be
attacking
attached.
instead of being able to play the card. And then One Piece is like, okay, we're going to take that system, but we're just going to have that in a deck already. And then we'll just kind of have it so you're tapping those.
And how did you feel? We got the beginner box.
Oh yeah, which obviously the beginner box on Amazon is like $65. I got it for 35. But toss on here. But I think this was a best way to get into Magic because it literally came with like 8 decks in total.
Yeah, it was really cool because it had all the colors. It explains the colors.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of mismatch them to make your own little.
Yeah, and I think for Magic, I think Jumpstart is a great way to get into Magic, I find.
Yeah, it was really cool. Even for like me, I played Magic a lot,
Yeah.
like when I was younger and everything. But to be able to just like mix them together, I used to play a lot of Wizards and Goblins, and that had Wizards and Goblins.
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
just put them
yeah.
together.
It has a little bit of everything.
And
I
Pirates
think
and
that's
Dragons.
great.
Yeah.
And Pirates and Dragons, which was a great fun deck too. Yeah, I think because you can buy single Jumpstart packs too.
Yeah,
And I think because that's how you got me into Magic.
we did it. Yeah,
Yeah, and that was fun because it's just you grab 2 packs. They're pretty much the same price as buying a single pack anyways. Like it might be like $1 or $2 more. But yeah, you just grab 2 of those and then that's your deck. And it's just all the information's on the card, which is what I like kind of about Pokemon too, is that like, oh, this has trample or this has reach or like this is so-and-so. And in brackets, it will tell you what that means.
Yeah.
Except for
You just buy it, shuffle together, play a game.
call it a day.
Yeah.
You know, and all the rules are there. There's obviously like small little things of like sometimes how the attacking works and what you can use to block.
Yeah, but it felt like we both
got the hang of it pretty quick. Like
Well,
you obviously
besides
played
that-
ahead of time, but
yeah, I know. But you were. It felt like you knew what you
Catching
were
on,
doing.
yeah.
You were
yeah.
confident.
Yeah, I've yet to play Commander, which I think I will attempt one day.
Commander's
Yeah.
fun.
But yeah, because Connor, that's the only time you've played Magic really was
Well,
Commander
I
once?
played Magic a long time ago, like when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like going to locals a lot more often playing Yu-Gi-Oh. A couple friends played Magic as well, and like we would just play Magic when we didn't like to just take a break from Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, I've played a Commander game with my one friend who is huge into Magic, so he brought 4 Commander decks for everyone because he's got cards up the wazoo.
Wow.
So we all played, and he brought what he said were like more easy or like, you know, good beginner decks. And it was fun. It was just obviously he ended up getting bullied because everyone was like, well, he knows how to play, so he kind of got
Target him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate for him, but it was kind of fun because I ended up, I forget what my commander was. He was like a chef cook guy, and like my counters were going crazy.
I mean, you
like,
get some wild decks.
oh, like
with
he was just getting +1/+1 for like a ton of different things, and the other decks were a lot more defensive based, so like I was just kind of allowed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was really fun though, and I can see why it's such a popular game to play with just friends. Like even you don't have to go to a card store, which I think some people are just scared to go in terms of whether it's like an anxiety thing or you're just not big on playing with other people or seeing maybe that you're bad or something like that.
Everyone's so friendly.
Oh yeah, I know. All card store people are like
Yeah.
super friendly, and they all just want to have more people playing for the most part.
Yeah, I used to go when I was like 10 years old. They were all really nice, and
Yep.
that was great.
And they're all encouraging. They all like teach you how to play. If you make mistakes, it's not like a big deal. Especially like if you're just at a local, a lot of people will just kind of rewind and be like, "Hey, like that's not how you do it. You would have to do this," and then
Not
rewind.
at Friday Night Magic.
Well, okay. I was thinking
once
more-
you're in the game, that's a whole different story.
I was thinking Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals like they're very chill, and then if you go to like more like a regional, that's when like you have to
Yeah,
be a
yeah, what
lot
you're
locked,
doing.
locked
Yeah.
in on your
Yeah,
rules.
yeah.
But it's a good learning environment. Everyone's super chill, and it's also a way to get cards early. Like the reason we probably didn't get One Piece is because they have One Piece night, I think, on Wednesdays.
Wednesday
and they
nights
probably
there,
got
yeah.
the set early because they go to the store, they support
Yeah.
the store, and they're always there. Yeah, why wouldn't you sell those cards to the people that are always at your store? Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super fun. Magic, very easy. I think the only negative I would say for Magic for a beginner is the amount of things you need to keep track of. Like, there's a lot of cards that's like, if this card does something, give this card +1/+1 or spawn.
Oh yeah,
or spawn
specifically
like
if you're
a
dealing with
token
white
or whatever.
deck.
I think
A lot of counters. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of things, so you need to have your die ready, and you have to at least be paying attention. Like, okay, I need to add this +1/+1. I need to add this +1. I need to add this, because if you start having a pretty sizable field, you got to make sure all those effects are properly watched
especially
over.
with Magic, where you have your like your attack and defense kind of
Yes.
stat, where like something like Riftbound is just the one, I
One
think it's
number.
might or
Yeah.
whatever they call it.
Same
Yeah.
with One Piece, one number. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get a counter, it's just that one number going up or down.
Yeah. I think that's the only negative towards Magic, though, is just
It's the
that
fractions.
there's a few things you need to pay
Math?
Yeah, you need to pay a lot of attention to.
Come on, man.
I kind of have Lorcana and Riftbound at the same, mostly because we didn't play a ton of Lorcana.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to
Probably
judge
play
it
that,
too
yeah.
harshly. But Riftbound, definitely you need to have the rule book open, where it doesn't feel like that's as necessarily as for some of the games beforehand. Kind of a quick read, and you can play it maybe one time, and you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I also don't think Riftbound's a beginner TCG in any way. Like, I don't think, like, if you've never played TCGs, like, I feel like Riftbound would be complicated to grasp to start.
Yeah,
We gotta test it with someone who
yeah.
hasn't
Now we
actually
need to
played
find
one.
someone. We need to find someone and then talk about it again. But our last place goes to Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, how did you feel about playing Yu-Gi-Oh,
Oh,
Zach?
yeah, that was that was tough.
We started with a 2010 deck with
Yeah.
you and Matt, which was very slow.
It was slow, yeah, but it was still like I didn't know what was going on,
Yeah,
and
there's
you
a
were
lot going-
telling me.
Yeah.
Like, I had no
there was
idea.
some coaching going on.
There was a second deck.
Oh yeah,
Why was there a second?
the extra deck. Yeah,
The extra deck.
yeah. It used to be called the fusion deck.
Yeah.
But then more cards got introduced. New types of cards, synchros, XYZs.
Links.
So
being able to interact with like all the like you have your cards in your graveyard,
Yeah.
and then they
On the
whatever.
field, in your hand, in the deck, in the extra deck. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
So yeah, we were playing a more modern deck. We were playing Mermail, just to show Zach kind of how current Yu-Gi-Oh goes.
yeah
He did a lot of watching.
yeah no I did. Like,
well, your
you-
turns were like 5 minutes a turn.
Oh, my
Oh,
turns
longer
got
than that,
longer
probably.
because he was
Yeah.
doing more things on my turn than I was doing on my own turn.
Yeah, that's current Yu-Gi-Oh. A lot of playing on your opponent's turn. A lot of I think it wasn't. It may have been the most recent or the second. I don't know when this will end up coming up, so it might not be the most recent, but a very recent YCS, which is like one of Yu-Gi-Oh's like big premier tournaments. In like the semifinals and the finals, it was the player would set up their board, and if the opponent couldn't do anything, they wouldn't even bother like playing into it. They would just pick up, and they would just go to game 2. Because in Yu-Gi-Oh you can side. There's a 15 card side deck, and you can like adjust your deck.
Oh yeah, that's in Magic as well.
Okay, so they would like remove and put in cards, and then you would obviously choose if you're going first or second, and then they would most likely you would go first, and then you would do the same thing to try and make your opponent not basically be allowed to play, and
Gotcha.
make an unbeatable board, and then they go, "There's no point, pick up." Like
Get my side.
I think that tournament for the semifinal and the final, there was no like second turns.
Wow.
That's insane.
Like people were just like, it's just I can't do anything. Like literally can't do anything, and they just picked up.
That is wild.
So obviously, from a spectator point of view, it's also not ideal as
Yeah.
well. And Yu-Gi-Oh we put at the bottom because you can theoretically just jump into 2010 because a lot of stores or card stores might do old formats, which is a lot easier to learn those older formats of Yu-Gi-Oh because it's a lot slower paced. But if you were to jump into current Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to read like essays on cards.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rules, way they interact and stuff. So put Yu-Gi-Oh at the bottom.
That's fair. I think it's
Like
really
nostalgia, I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but I can definitely recognize it's a bit of a mess. Definitely not easy to learn. It's kind of like League of Legends, trying to teach in the video game world where you're like, oh, I could teach someone to play Mario Party, or I could teach them to play League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? For
Yeah.
someone's first video game.
That's for first video game.
That's kind of like a good comparison where you're like, okay, we can jump right into like a regular Pokemon, or like, Mario Party, or jump into League of Legends or like Dark Souls.
Yeah, my wife, like, she started playing Overwatch.
Okay.
And she was saying there's too many things, like too many abilities. I don't know what every character does. I don't want to know what every character does. I just want to play the game.
Okay, she just needs to play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
If you don't need a shooter, you just need to play Call of Duty.
Yeah. So
When every guy just does the same thing.
yeah,
shoot
she'll
people.
she'll watch me over the shoulder playing League, and she's like, Yeah,
What's going on?
I don't even know how you do all this, and I'm like, I'm not even good.
Yeah, that's the craziest part. You're like, I know what I'm doing, but I'm bad.
Yeah, I know enough to know that I'm bad.
Yeah, that's League, baby.
Yeah.
That's League. That's the fun of League, Matt.
Can't wait.
I'm excited for you.
Thanks. For me to hate my life.
No.
Well, as long as you don't get crippling addiction to it, you're good. As long as you can.
Because I've never
distance
had a
yourself.
crippling addiction to anything before.
There you go. That's a positive outlook.
Anyways.
But yeah, that's
right.
anything else to add about Riftbound, boys?
It's promising. I think.
Promising.
It has potential, whether or not, like you said, like it really
I
depends.
would like to
on
check in at
how-
like set 5 and kind of
if it
see
gets
where.
that far.
Well, yeah, obviously if it gets that far, but I want to kind of see where they go with kind of like the way they want the meta to evolve or how cards evolve, and if there's a little bit, maybe they go a lot more towards something like ganking or spells. I know that we played with the Lux deck and it was super unfun to play with, just because Matt. It's very hard. Generally, I found it very hard to hold a battlefield.
Yeah.
And Matt, the Lux deck was just nuking thing. Like he didn't even have to go onto the board to battle. He would just nuke whatever was there, and then would just stroll along in.
I wish I had that deck.
It was
when I played against Yi, and
It
he
was just unfun.
As soon as Yi got onto a battlefield, I couldn't contest it.
I'm pretty sure Master Yi. Now, obviously, this is a pre-made deck, but it currently is one of the meta decks as a custom build deck. So with cards from set 1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's like high up there because of his like defensive. Like you only need one guy on, and you
And it
use that, and you
automatically
use
adds
the
plus
battlefield that
4.
also gives a +2.
Yeah, well, with
Like-
Lee Sin, if I get on there and then buff my guy, he's still not as strong as
Yeah.
Master.
Yeah, the Master Yi is
Master
adding a
Yi,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll be interested to see how many sets it goes, and if it goes deeper. Also gives a lot of because it's only the first set, so maybe the second, third, fourth sets will have even crazier artwork. Maybe maybe they introduce different rarities that they learn
Characters
from what
that
people want.
champions that aren't in the game yet, obviously, is a big
Yeah,
one.
they could do that, or maybe they start using skin lines. That's the one thing I noticed is that like one of Kaisa's alt arts is just a skin, but she still does the same thing as like the regular Kaisa.
Yeah.
But I wonder if maybe they introduce like a KDA level set where it's like, okay, like you want to build like KDA. It's maybe you have a front man, which is like one of the KDA members, but it focuses around the band as a whole, and you want to play around. That'd be cool, and you
That's
can
a
have
cool
like
idea.
music related cards and stuff. So I'm interested. There's a lot of lore and there's a lot of skin lines. If there's something League has a ton of, it's skins.
Yeah.
And you can use so many of them to make cool decks, fire decks.
I would love to see like I don't know if there's a Shyvana card, but anything that transforms.
Transforming
how are
would
you
be
gonna
like
do
having
that?
like Nidalee.
Yeah, something like that.
That'd be cool. Nidalee, Elise, Shyvana. You could do skin lines where you have
Gnar would be fun too.
Gnar would be cool. Gnar would be cool if the actual like champion one could do something for him. Like maybe it's like if you have a champion unit Gnar, you can mega based on a certain thing being met. Like return 2 of your runes or something like that to make him a mega Gnar.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. But it would be hard to work with his whole like fury.
That's the
mechanic
thing.
and
Maybe you'd
everything.
have. That's why I think you'd have to be like removing runes or something,
Yeah.
like 4 runes removed, and maybe you search your deck. We haven't seen like a big deck searcher like going deep. Like we've seen like top cards, but not like going into your deck and be like grabbing a Mega Gnar.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot to work with and a lot of things that they can relate to the game itself. It's definitely a promising game, but as of right now, it's not my favorite. I think that's.
But it
that's
has
safe.
potential.
Has potential.
Anyways, let's wrap up. Thanks, Zach, for
Yeah, it was
coming
fun.
on to the podcast. Our first guest, like Connor said, in a very hot minute. Hopefully, we'll have you back. Maybe there'll be once I try League, we'll have you
Let's
come
get
back
going.
on so you
Yeah.
can just.
Maybe we'll
Rip
have
me
Zach on
apart.
Nerdy Misfit Gaming.
There you
We'll
go.
and we'll have a nice League stream. Or maybe we'll just play Among Us.
Turn chat off.
Well, if you have a big enough group, we just play Among Us. Easy.
True.
Just have people yell at each other.
Mhm.
Could be a good time.
It'll be a terrible time. We'll see.
But
You
yeah,
talk about League or Among Us?
All of
Both.
the above.
Oh.
any video game, multiplayer video game, basically,
Yeah.
he's talking about. But yeah, when this episode goes live, it will be December. So we are almost near the end of the year. It's crazy. 2025 was real quick.
So stay tuned for some winter anime, some manga news with like what was the best-selling manga of the year. Then we got a Christmas episode, and then before you know it, it's going to be January, and we'll be doing a review of other stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Stay tuned for Percy Jackson Season 2. That
Very
should
excited
be
for Percy Jackson.
starting a week from when this episode comes out. So I'm personally very excited.
Very nice, very nice.
Jackson, but I digress.
All right, yeah. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when a new video goes out. We also have MCU movie reviews coming out every Monday for our Marvel Mondays at the moment, and Wednesdays for the podcast.
Be hitting close to phase 2 by the time this episode comes out.
Totally.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm keeping track. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you, and see you next week.